At the family reunion, my uncle said, "Isn't it time we controlled our women properly?" The potato salad slipped from my hands and splattered across Aunt Catherine's white carpet while 23 family members froze at Grandma's 85th birthday party. Uncle Frank set down his beer like he'd just announced something reasonable. "I'm serious. Look at divorce rates. Society's falling apart because we stopped keeping women in their proper place." My 16-year-old daughter Megan tensed beside me. "Frank, what the hell?" My dad stood from his recliner, face already red. Frank pulled out his phone, that blue glow lighting his face. "I've been reading about this online. There's a whole movement of men who understand what went wrong." He turned the screen toward us. Some website screaming about reclaiming masculine authority in bold red text. "Maybe this isn't the time," I said quietly. Those gray eyes locked onto me. "This is exactly the time, Jennifer. You're divorced because society told you that you didn't need to submit to your husband's authority." My ex-husband Nathan had cheated on me for 2 years, but apparently Frank had his own interpretation. "Now wait," Aunt Catherine started. Frank held up his hand to silence her. 37 years of marriage, 4 kids raised, her own business, and he shut her down like a child. "I'm talking, Catherine. You can speak when I'm finished." The color drained from Catherine's face, then flooded back in fury. Before she could respond, Frank's son Michael stood up, 28, the golden child. "Dad's got a point. I've been reading the same stuff." My cousin Lisa jumped up so fast she knocked over her soda. "Are you both insane?" Michael smiled that condescending smile. "Women are naturally more emotional. They're happiest with strong male leadership." "I have a PhD in biochemistry," Lisa shouted. "I run a research lab with 40 employees. And are you happy? Married? Kids?" The questions hung like poison gas. Lisa's face crumbled. Grandma's cough cut through the tension, but she was laughing, actually laughing. "Frank, you always were an idiot, just like your father." "Mother, you don't understand. Your father tried the same nonsense in 1973, had his drinking buddies convinced they needed to reclaim their households." She paused for another cough. "I left him for 6 months, took you kids to my sister's in Portland." This was news to everyone. "He couldn't even operate the washing machine without me. You kids were begging me to come back within 2 weeks." She looked at Catherine. "Don't you dare let him talk to you that way." Frank stood, all 6'3", towering over Grandma's wheelchair. "Now we have science proving men are leaders, women are supporters. It's biological." "That's the same argument people use to justify slavery." Megan's voice cut through like a blade. "They said black people had different brains. It was fake science then, and what you're reading is fake science now." I'd never been prouder. "My marriage ended because your uncle couldn't keep it in his pants," I snapped. "Nathan was sleeping with Ashley for 2 years. But somehow this is about me not being submissive enough? Maybe if you'd been meeting his needs." Frank started. My father's fist connected with Frank's jaw with a crack that echoed through the room. Frank went down hard, taking Grandma's birthday cake with him. White frosting with pink roses ended up all over his face. "You don't talk to my daughter that way," Dad said, shaking out his hand. "You don't talk to any woman that way." Catherine stood over Frank as he tried to wipe cake from his eyes. "I want a divorce. I've wanted one for years, but I stayed for the kids. They're grown now, and I'm done." She looked at Michael. "Your father can live with you since you agree with his philosophy." Michael's wife Rachel, silent until now, suddenly stood. "Actually, Michael can live with him solo. I'm taking the kids to my mother's." "Rachel, honey, I won't raise my daughter in a house where she's taught she's less than her brother." She grabbed her purse and kids and left. Frank got to his feet, cake in his hair. "You're all turning on family over basic truths. You've confused control with strength," Grandma interrupted. "Weak men have blamed women for their failures in every era I've lived through." Catherine emerged with a suitcase. "Michael, help me load the car or stay with your father." Michael grabbed the suitcases without hesitation. Frank stood alone, covered in cake, surrounded by the debris of what used to be his family. The answer to his question was written in birthday cake and divorce papers.